I'm Brian Prechtl. I'm a percussionist in the BSO, and we're lucky enough today to steal a few minutes with Marin Alsop. It's nice we can do away with that designate title after music director finally.
Yeah,
that must feel good to be in the driver's seat
yeah,
finally.
it's great.
Yeah, it's good. I'll tell you, and it's been a wild ride already. Last weekend was our first concerts with Marin this fall, and the preview concert at Strathmore was great. That was a great beginning, but I got to say, the gala performance on Saturday night was pretty epic. I mean, it was one powerhouse piece after another. Did you design that?
I did. I had this idea that I wanted to have maybe almost like a parade of people from the community that would join the BSO and be part of what we're doing. And so it started as this vision of a parade, and that's how it ended up. You know, and also for these galas, there's so much talking all the time, you know, and of course you have to thank all the people that support us, but I thought, wouldn't it be great just to have wall-to-wall music? So those two ideas came together to lead me to our nonstop whirlwind through the entire repertoire.
It was a really powerful experience. I talked to a lot of people afterwards who really appreciated it. And I like that aspect of really thinking about community involvement right from the outset. Yeah. Do you think that that's probably one of the hallmarks that you're looking to be of your tenure?
I would be very happy if it would be. You know, the idea of partnering and being part of the community. I mean, that's something that I think we have a happy commitment to represent our community and to reach out and to be available and accessible. I think this $25 ticket initiative, thanks to PNC, has really set us down that road. And I think all the musicians feel like they're supportive of that way. And you're all everybody's neighbor. You know, people don't realize that. They don't make that connection. So I want us to feel relevant and vital. And
great. Well, so far so good. We've got quite a big performance coming up to really start the season, as we're going to start it in earnest in 2 weeks. I mean, doing Mahler 5 would be probably a big enough of a start, but to have a live XM broadcast concurrent with that must be great for everybody. What do you think the benefits are for the musicians, for the orchestra, for the organization?
To have this relationship with XM radio? Well, you know, my experience in Britain, conducting in England for many years now, we do a lot of BBC broadcasts, and a lot of them are live, and the experience is so heightened. It's just like when we make a recording, I think. It pushes our game up. I feel like, you know, we all step it up a notch. Right. And to have this relationship now with XM, especially to have this live broadcast, you know, I don't want it to feel like pressure in the sense that, oh, you know, something's on the line. It's not at all. I want it to feel like, oh, isn't this great? Everybody wants to hear us, you know? So that's what I'm going for. And I think to be part of the new technology, you know, XM is part of this I think it's the next generation of what's going to be happening in radio. I want us to be on the forefront of, you know, the newest in technology, whether it's through downloading or offering things like this.
And it does really sort of underline the global village concept that's really happening through the internet and through satellite radio and things like that. You know, everybody can hear us as if we were right in the next town, and I'm excited that the BSO will have that kind of a reach, which we haven't up to this point.
It's going to be great.
Let's talk a little bit about this year in general, putting the Beethoven cycle together with the sort of Beethovens of our time. What do you think is going to be one of the most surprising things about this combination for the orchestra, for the players, and for the audience?
That's a good question. I don't, you know, when I do these things, I don't usually think about the outcome necessarily. I'm hoping, you know, I'd be hopeful that people that come to hear the Beethoven symphonies, because that's what they know and love, might get turned on to new music and make a personal connection with a living composer. And surprisingly, I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, oh, you know, I'm really into John Adams, or I'm really into new music. And I'm hoping that those people maybe can make a reconnection with Beethoven, or maybe there's a bridge to a sense of relevance that could be built from new music back to old music. Sure. And for me, it's also about, since we'll have these living composers here, people can get to ask questions, you know, really sort of touch them. I want to create that same feeling for people about Beethoven, and that's why this idea of CSI Beethoven, where we're going to do this forensic autopsy,
that's going to be fun.
with the orchestra and with the scientists, that people might have a sense of, you know, really knowing Beethoven as a human being.
I think it also might be good for the orchestra in some ways, because it's such a different skill set to really prepare a lot of contemporary music. And then, of course, Beethoven is always a great thing for orchestras to do. Are you thinking about any of that? Are you thinking about shaping the orchestra? I mean, every conductor puts their mark on an ensemble over a period of time, and I wonder if
Yeah, you know, I don't, people ask me that, you know, about the sound of an orchestra or your legacy and all those things. And maybe I just think in different terms. I mean, I think people will judge that, you know, in 10, 20
Right.
years, you know, after I'm gone.
in retrospect.
My feeling is more that, I guess it's just my life philosophy. When I leave the BSO, if there's a sense of connection with the joy about making music, then I'll
good.
feel like it's a great legacy. And I think that of my son, though, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you do of your kids too. You know, you don't really care what they become as long as they're really happy. And I feel that way about you and my musicians now.
Right, and I think that we've talked a lot about education, you and I have, and I think that that's one of the key things, is that it always needs to be fun, and luckily that is something that is a very strong suit for you, so I think we're really blessed there. You know, I had to ask you something, though, as I've been watching this last week. I mean, the media frenzy around here is palpable, and I just wonder, at some time, do you feel like, you know, you're so media friendly and you're so good at these things, do you feel like you've created a monster in a way? You must not have a minute to yourself.
Well, you know, I think I'm a little bit snowblind now, you know, it's wall to wall, but I think once we get through these couple weeks, I mean, I want to take advantage of the spotlight being on you. I mean, it's not particularly, I don't feel it's particularly about me. I mean, I'm a vehicle. The reason I'm here is to try to enable the orchestra to come up and be in the spotlight. And it so happens that part of my job is to be the ambassador. And so I really don't look at it as so much attention on me. I mean, although people seem obsessed with the first woman and the first, you know, but it's all about the society we live. Everybody needs a hook, you know, and that's an easy hook. But to me, I want to be a vehicle for the orchestra to get in the spotlight. And so I guess I am motivated by something bigger, so it doesn't feel quite that onerous, although at the end of it,
There's a lot of
few
people
days
around.
like this, I'm pretty tired out.
Well, it's been great to have you today, and we're really looking forward to all that's going to be in our future. So
Thanks.
thank you.
I think it's going to be a great ride. I hope everybody will come in and join us.
We hope so too. Thanks.